Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. So, obviously, as you know, we just finished. We finished about an hour and a half ago at the Titanic stream, a few hours ago, actually. And I checked my messenger, and I get a message from Marty, and it's a Reddit rumor. Now I've read it, and I have to say, right, by reading it, I'm calling bull crap on it, right, for starters. Now, we'll see if you guys agree with me, but I think this is another, you know, I think this is bull, because for the simple reason is, you'll see when I'm reading it, I'll give me comments as well when I'm reading it, but I just find it hard to believe, and you will see why now in a minute. As I'm reading it, and then I'll give me thoughts as I'm reading it. And then you can let me know in the chat what you think. Now, this won't be a big long stream. As well, Marty sent me another picture. Won't be talking about it much on this channel, but what's this? SFX, the magazine, has spoke about a Doctor Who multiverse, but apparently it's for Titan Comics. So we'll look a little bit into that tomorrow and see if it's just Titan Comics or are they going multiverse with Doctor Who. We will have to wait and see. But we're here for the John Barrowman stuff. So I'm going to screen share this, so nobody thinks that I'm making stuff up as they usually do. So let's see if it's on screen. It is. Right, so this is from Doctor Who News. It was posted by U Project Indigo 63 11 hours ago, it says. So it says John Barrowman could return to Doctor Who, right? Said, here are the few things here and there in regards to John Barrowman and his career after facing backlash for actions over his time on Torchwood and Doctor Who. Fans claim that Barrowman is not facing repercussions, nor is he taking responsibility, is partly incorrect. Well, firstly, I will just say John Barrowman faced repercussions for his actions years ago. And he did take responsibility because he's apologized back then and he's apologized further since. So already there's red flags with this Reddit user, because John Barrowman is not currently working with the BBC. Also, when Julie Gardner sorted it out, there was they even said that there was stuff put in place so this kind of behavior didn't happen again, right? So this is why this so far is a red flag for me, because he, as I said, he's currently not working for the BBC, so he doesn't have to face repercussions for something that he did all those years ago and apologized for, right? But we'll continue anyway. So they say there's an ongoing investigation into allegations and general set behavior on Doctor Who and Torchwood. Barrowman has told not to go into details or release a statement until further findings have been concluded. Now, I will say this. If they are investigating an Noel Clarke situation, which they could go back all of those years ago and see what happens, and see if there's any more evidence. And while they're probably at it, they probably are, to a certain extent, maybe they could be looking into certain situations with John Barrowman. But it was well known because they sang a song and all about it. They all had a laugh and a joke about it. So this is why I find this hard to believe. maybe Noel Clark's incidents are being investigated, and this Reddit user has got the names mixed up. Because as I said, John Barrowman is not actually currently working for the BBC. He faced repercussions back in the day. As I said, they've even had a joke and a song and a dance about it. So if he was going to he wouldn't be facing further repercussions unless there is new allegations that have come forward. And this doesn't suggest that there are new allegations that have come forward. So again, this is why I'm calling this bull. So apparently Barrowman has been told not to go into detail or release a statement until the findings have been concluded. Yeah, John Barrowman is back on Twitter and he's interacting with fans, and fans are still throwing all that stuff at him, and he's blocking. And only recently, as we know, he left after responding to a lot of them. So if he was to keep his mouth shut, he wouldn't be responding at all. He probably would have stayed off social media, because he knows that it's very hard not to respond back to idiots on the internet. So here's the next part of this paragraph. There's a couple of parts of this now which I find which are major red flags again. If there are solid accusations of other findings into this investigation, we most likely won't see Barrowman on our TV screens or any Big Finish productions again. That being said, so they follow up with this. If Barrowman is cleared of his behaviour after victims are interviewed and he releases a statement, we could see him return to the world of Doctor Who. Right now, for what I've heard, everyone interviewed in regards to the events, including victims, have not claimed discomfort nor anger at Barrowman and have worked with him repeatedly since by choice. Now, you see the last part of that paragraph, we already know it's out there. This is not leaked information, and this is why this is another red flag. We already know that he's worked with other people that he did this to. We already know that it didn't cause any discomfort. He said it was out of bad taste, but it was tomfoolery. We know all of this. This is nothing new, right? And that being said, if Barrowman is cleared of his behaviour, well, he's worked on Jodie Whittaker's era. So again, this is why this is another red flag for me, and why this post I'm calling it bull, right? Because as I said, he's not working for BBC currently, but when he did, he came back for Jodie Whittaker's era, right? And he worked for them, and the ratings went up. So all of this now, I can tell you, by reading this now, I can tell you that this is bull. This is bull. You don't need to be a detective to figure this one out. This is someone, because John Barrowman is in the news, is putting up a Reddit leak trying to claim and to cause upset. This is what this will do. Someone will pick this up, right? Run with it as if it's true, and then get all the people on the internet going crazy. Oh, you can't bring on this, the usual. You know, they've called him a sexual predator. They've called him this, that, and the other, right? So we know all of this right now for what I've heard. Everybody that has spoke about it has said that there was nothing sinister in it. So we know all this. This could be all nonsense. It is nonsense. And new things could be uncovered. But right now, apart from the seriousness, inappropriate behaviour on set, that doesn't seem to be malicious intent nor offence from the victims. Again, all of these people have already said that what John Barrowman did was not anything sinister. It wasn't sexual in nature. Right? So we know all of this. This is why this Reddit leak, I'm glad Marty actually sent it to me, because, you know, we've been listening to a lot of rubbish about John Barrowman and listening to these fans. This Reddit leak was only designed for one thing. Someone on the other side will pick it up, run with it, and it'll upset the other side, right? Because they think John Barrowman should lose his career. They think John Barrowman is a sexual predator and all of the other stupid names that they call him, right? So this is what this Reddit leak was designed for. You can already know by reading these things, and I'm in this game long enough to know, when you get a leak like this, right, or when we find leaks like this, and fair play to Marty for going and finding it, but when you find leaks like this, right, or so-called leaks like this, right? And you read them out loud. Don't read it to yourself. Read it out loud. It even sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. John Barrowman is currently not being investigated by the BBC. If there was an investigation, this is the protocol that would happen, right? The BBC would come out after it all kicked off again and say that there is an investigation into John Barrowman. Okay? That's how these things work. BBC would come out themselves and say there's an active investigation into John Barrowman. But they haven't. So I'm calling bull on this one. I'm telling you now, it's all bull. You know by reading it, right? And as I said, he's currently not working for the BBC, so they'd have no need. As I said, it was dealt with back in the day. He apologised. The problem is here is, as I said, there are certain people in this fandom that won't accept the apologies, right? They say he wasn't sincere, all of this other rubbish, right? He was sincere at the time, right? He's apologised a few more times, and yes, right now, of course he'd be fed up. He's fed up for apologising. Why should he have to keep apologising for something he's already apologised for? And if the so-called victims of the people that he did this to, right, if they wanted any more done, trust me, there would have been a police investigation. He would have been locked up, all of this other stuff. Okay? But no, none of them are coming forward and saying that that he should be dealt with further. It's certain people in this fandom who have an agenda that want this man to lose his career. And I'm telling you now, right, this is why I'm calling bull on this, right? John Barrowman right now is a topic of conversation, right? There are people out there deliberately on Reddit, as we have showed just before, right, that deliberately stir the pot. And this is what this so-called leak is claiming, right? That's what it's designed to do. The other side get hold of this now. Someone on their side has a YouTube channel, will report on it, and what happens? All hell will break loose on the other side. How could you let a sexual predator, this, that, and the other? How could you let someone that sexually assaulted someone work for you and all of this other rubbish? That's what they'd come out with, right? So I'm telling you now, I don't believe it for 1 second. As I said, you know, it was dealt with. They've even joked about it, right? So don't be giving me this. And by the way, if there was happening this claim, right, that he was being investigated, shame on the BBC. Shame on yous, right? Because yous let him work for yous when it suited yous. But now that a few little idiots are shouting up, yous are going to bow down to pressure. That's what I would say. Don't bow down to pressure. It was dealt with at the time. He apologised 3 times and on the radio interview as well, 4 times, right? He doesn't need to apologise again. He should be able to move on with his career and do what he wants to do. Us as his fans have accepted his apologies. That's why when we got the hashtag, we stand with John Barrowman, right? And it got trending, right? That hashtag doesn't get trending if he's not popular or fans don't have his back. It proved once again that John Barrowman is still loved in this fandom. He's one of the most popular characters in Captain Jack that we have, and we're very protective of him. We have accepted his apology. It's now time for all you little muppets out there that won't accept it to finally admit that you are wrong. Take the L. It's time to move on. John Barrowman will work again for the BBC, guaranteed, because he brings in the ratings. He will work for ITV again, guaranteed, because he does bring in the ratings. All of this will happen, right? And I tell you, as I said, I don't believe for 1 second there's anything in that Reddit leak, right? That's why I say falsely claim, right? But I tell you one thing, if there was an iota of truth to that, right, I would be disgusted with BBC and everybody else that has employed John Barrowman, because yous are hypocrites. Yous are hypocrites. He'll bring him in because he's popular, but as soon as a few little mouths out there speak up, he's run scared, as you've always done. Grow a set of balls and stand up to these kids and tell them that it's done, that John Barrowman and none of the cast that he did all this to have a problem. Draw a line under it and it's done. ITV are giving him a second chance, so should the BBC. Exactly. Listen, he apologised. That hashtag, we stand with John Barrowman. I created that hashtag, right? Because I didn't like the way he was being treated, right, by these trolls. I know what it's like to be bullied, right, for the last few years, right? I woke up one day and I found out that it was trending. I didn't even believe it at first until John Barrowman himself retweeted a screenshot to show everybody that it was trending. I was gobsmacked. The first hashtag that I've actually come up with that's actually trended, right? And why did it trend? Because John Barrowman is still popular with fans. He's still loved by fans. And all of this is a few little idiots who can't accept an apology because for some weird reason, it's not good enough for them, right? And none of this happened to any of these people, but yet the way they're carrying on, you think it did, right? And as far as they're concerned, the apology will never be good enough. And trust me, folks, this is the thing. No matter how many times John Barrowman apologizes, it doesn't matter how many different ways he apologizes, right? He could travel around the world in 80 days and help all the people in the world, right? And it still wouldn't be good enough for these people, right? That's the bottom line. They'll never accept John Barrowman's apology, right? But the fans that count got him trending. And I want to thank all of those fans for going out of their way to use a hashtag, we stand with John Barrowman, and got it trending. I cannot tell you how much that meant. And I'm telling you, it would have meant something to John Barrowman too. Trust me. And we know what? We should repeat the trick again. We should get it trending again. Just to show these people, right? And stand against these people. And get this hashtag trending again. We stand with John Barrowman. Let's send a message, right, to the BBC. Let's send a message to all of those haters out there that we are not going to let John Barrowman sacrifice his career for some idiot out there that won't accept his apology. No way. We do not back down on this one, right? We get him trending again. We send a message again because these kids, they think they can control this fandom still. Yous are done. Yous are done. This man should be able to move on, and he will move on. He will move on, and we'll make sure of it. So hashtag we stand with John Barrowman. Get onto Twitter, start tweeting it, put up your pictures of John Barrowman, your artwork of John Barrowman, right? Retweet them, tweet them with the hashtag we stand with John Barrowman. Let's do it again. Right, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Tomorrow we will on Contact. We're going to be talking about this this potential of a multiverse. We're going to look into it a little bit further. Apparently he is from Titan Comics, but we'll look into it, see if there's anything got to do with the main show. There has been talk, right? A lot of chatter about BBC doing something big. In fairness, you know, bringing in the multiverse, we spoke about it on this channel plenty of times, would make things in the Chris Chibnall era make sense anyway. And it would clear up a lot of the anger that a lot of fans have, because it'd be put in some pocket universe where we wouldn't give a shit about it. Only the people that actually really care about this era, if there is any. So we'll be looking into that. Also, Doctor Who TV also posted up an article. Hashtag Sheen for 14. I will tell you all to use that hashtag as well. But they did actually do an article on whose fans' first choice was for the Doctor. And of course, again, it's Michael Sheen. What can I tell you, guys? Again, that's another hashtag that we have. Hashtag Sheen for 14 and hashtag We Stand with John Barrowman. Right now, I'm going to leave you with the hashtag Sheen for 14 titles. As I said, use that hashtag as well. And if you wouldn't mind using We Stand with John Barrowman on Twitter, I really appreciate it. Let's show these guys the real power of the fandom now. Right? We've got one hashtag trending. Let's get them all trending. Let's do it. Let's show the other side what power we actually have in this fandom. Because you know what? For the last 5 years, a lot of us have stayed away. People are starting to speak up again, and it's great. Fans that haven't been around are returning. They're finally finding their voice. Let's keep it going, right? Because at the end of the day, they've always been the vocal minority. Now let's become the vocal majority and drown out these kids once and for all. It's time that we stand up and be counted, guys. Let's do it. We can all do it. I know we can. I believe in you all. Let's do it. Let's work together. Okay, look, I'm going to go leave you with the Sheen for 14 titles. I want to thank Marty for sending me that screenshot of that interesting leak. I will obviously have Marty on as soon as possible. We'll try get Marty on next week. See if he's available. Try get him on next week. We'll do a little bit of catch up. We'll talk about some of the stuff that's been spoken about, rumor wise and stuff like that. Yeah, that'll be great. And then join us tomorrow for Contact, or later on tonight, I should say. No, it's not after 12 yet, so we're grand. So tomorrow for Contact. Then on Saturday, then we have Classic Who. Now we haven't chosen the classic story, so I will, when I pick it, which will be sometime tonight, I will get a little trailer, put it together, and then I'll drop it, let you know what the classic story is. Thank you all for joining me. I hope to see you all very, very soon. I know this was a bit of a late one, but thanks for popping in. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all very, very soon, folks. So have a good one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you. Hit that notification bell as well for the latest streams. And we will talk to you very soon, folks. Bye-bye.